Okay, the question is, why do I ask my writing students to begin by writing an article? After all, some of you don't want to be article writers. You want to be children's books writers, or you want to be um, business writers in the sense of for your company newsletter or your emails. That's great, and I get it. Here's why I ask you to begin with an article. First, writing articles is a fundamental skill for a writer. It's a good thing to know how to do. Number two, the sequence I ask you to do of setting up a problem and solving it is fundamental to writing. Watch a movie, you're going to see problems set up and solved, set up and solved. And number three, and maybe most importantly, writers who write articles and who get their work published online show up in search. Okay, and that can be huge for most writers. They're looking for work, they need credibility. Guess what? You want to show up online. So I have some examples that I Googled, and I'll just launch right into that. First off, my buddy Demian Farnworth, who is one of the most skilled writers I know. So if I search on Demian's name, notice that he's going to have a Twitter presence. Does Demian like to tweet? I don't know. He does. Why? Because it gives him an online presence. His LinkedIn profile's there. Medium.com, something we're going to be talking about soon. He has articles. He has an author bio at Copyblogger. It talks about his own blog, The Copybot. I mean, Demian shows up online when you Google his name. This is important. Another friend of mine, Stu Draper. You'll be seeing a video from Stu, I think, during this class. Stu formed a little business called Stu Kent that is just hopping. It's teaching digital marketing online. Notice that Stu shows up when you search on him. But why? Because he has content out there. He has his bios out. He has articles out. He has a Twitter, Facebook. He's there. And notice some images of Stu. And he's searchable. Why? Because he's active online. He gets his work out there and gets it shown. Maxwell Ivy's another. Max is also known as the blind blogger. He's a great guy. You can't listen to Max and not get inspired. Google on Max. Here he goes. He has his Twitter presence. He has articles written. He has an Amazon book. He has some YouTubes out there. There's Max right there. He does stuff. He writes things. He gets published. He gets known online. Ken Roberts is somebody you've seen in class. It's not this Ken Roberts over there. He has and Ken's retired for Pete's sakes, but look, there's articles about him. Ken was one of the original FTC guys trying to figure out how you can operate online and coming across troubles with that. His most powerful money manual and course sold, millions of copies. It's incredible. So here's Ken. There's some interviews with him. I think that's Ken. Might not be. Nope, these guys might not be Ken. This is another name. Oh, by the way, I want to show you Ken specifically because his name, you might say, well, Maxwell Ivy, that's a tough name, Stu Draper. But Ken Roberts, that's a pretty common name, right? Ken, even though he's retired, even though he's not pushing it, he's showing up online because of content. Tom Antion, an amazing marketer. Tom, I think you'll be hearing from soon. Tom gets found, okay? Are you getting my point here? Ann Smarty. Ann is one of the most prolific writers around. You If you look anywhere in the world of SEO, digital marketing, you're going to find stuff by Ann Smarty. I love Ann. Hope you can hear from her. Here's the article, Search Engine Journal she writes for. She's everywhere. There's Ann. And again, I told you I won't ever ask you to do something I wouldn't do myself. Here I am. Google my name. Guess what? You're gonna find images. This is kind of funny on an aside how some people show images, some YouTube, some knowledge graphs. That's a really good thing to study a bit out. I have a Google My Business page. So look, there's going to be some reviews and all that. Articles I've written. There's Medium again. I have a Twitter presence. I don't do a lot with it, but I do enough to show up and be found and all that. So this is why I want you to get started, and this is why I ask you to get started with an article. It's because only by writing and by getting content out there can you get found in search. It builds your credibility. Somebody says, hey, I wonder if this person, can write, and you go, oh yeah, just, here, let me point you to some stuff online. Okay, so let's take a look at one of these articles and see if that set up a problem and solve it plan really happens. So I'm going to click on Medium. That's going to bring up some of the articles I've written on Medium. Let's just click on this top one, how to know what you should do. Okay, so let's see how it goes. Do you know anyone who has a tough time sticking with a diet plan, keeps promising to get back to the gym, but seldom does, and generally isn't feeling too energetic, strong, or motivated? There's a problem. Does that person also sit at a desk in front of a computer? Problem. You've described millions of people in the USA. I'm one of them. Okay, identification. We'll look at top 10 reasons and say most of us face with obstacles we feel trapped. Here I'm setting up the problem. I'm setting up the answer. I tried an experiment. It worked. Here we go. Then I go back, explain the problem more, dig it in, and answer. Go back and do what worked before. I don't know if this is a great article. I don't even remember writing this article, to tell you the truth. But there's a general pattern it follows there. Here's one I wrote, 6 months or so ago about local SEO. And I love this graphic, before we decide that SEO is dead, can someone tell me what SEO is? Love it. Okay, let's see. Do I set up the problem? Here we go. There's no reason for a local company to not get found in high in organic search. Those who aren't ranking aren't taking the necessary steps. Boy, if you're a local business owner and you read this and agree, you've just found a big problem. I'm not ranking in search results, but hold it. There's no reason why I shouldn't. And then I dig further into the problem. Notice I didn't say they're trying to rank or they aren't paying some agency in California to take care. I said they aren't taking the necessary steps. So some people, even though they're paying for SEO, paying to rank, to get somebody to help them rank, they're still not ranking. So I go into the solution. What are the necessary bases business has to cover? Great question. Here we go. I tell why I'm qualified and launch into the necessary components of local SEO. It's set up a problem, solve the problem. Set up a problem, solve the problem. And here's one more example of a solve the problem article. So start right off. Found the key to getting off your butt and into action. Sounds like a problem. You hate working on Saturdays. Problem is, I've work due Monday and I hate being late anymore. So there's the problem. The solution, I discovered the cure. I'm going to share it with you. Ready? Okay, so who wouldn't want to find out how to get off your butt into action? And solution in the body, and then you wrap it up at the end. Got it? Okay. See you soon.